Welcome to another Fine Spun Tales story. On June 30th, 1908 and February 12th, 1947, Russia narrowly escapes destruction by meteorites, but on September 11th, 2077, Europe faces a devastating cosmic impact. At 0946 GMT, a dazzling fireball appears in the eastern sky, disintegrating above Austria with violent concussions and impacts in northern Italy, destroying Padua, Verona, and Venice, killing 600,000 people and causing damage valued over $1 trillion. In response, humanity unites to prevent future catastrophes, launching Project Spaceguard, which, 50 years later, successfully ensures that no meteorite large enough to cause such destruction ever breaches Earth's defenses again. By 2130, Mars-based radar discovers new asteroids daily, with Spaceguard tracking their orbits. Among these is 31F4439, a massive asteroid detected beyond Jupiter, named Rama from the Hindu pantheon due to its unusual trajectory. Unlike typical asteroids, Rama's path is a hyperbolic orbit, indicating it is making a one-time visit to the solar system, accelerating past the planets toward the Sun before it exits forever. Astronomers are intrigued by Rama's consistent light curve, suggesting it's either perfectly symmetrical or not spinning, both improbable for an asteroid. Dr. William Stenton, using a large telescope, discovers that Rama rotates every 4 minutes, implying an incredibly high equatorial speed. This rapid spin suggests an extraordinary structure, sparking speculation that Rama could be a dense, compact object like a neutron star. However, further analysis debunks this theory, as it would have caused significant gravitational disturbances in the solar system. The mystery deepens, driving scientists to explore Rama's true nature and origin. Interest in Rama grows, but the public quickly loses interest. However, astronomers remain fascinated by its mysteries, contemplating the asteroid's unique properties and potential implications. Despite initial fears, it becomes clear that Rama is not a threat, but an extraordinary celestial visitor, offering a rare opportunity for scientific discovery before it departs into the unknown. In the 22nd century, an extraordinary and contentious meeting of the Space Advisory Council takes place, with elderly scientists like Professor Emeritus Olaf Davidson occupying key positions. Davidson, uninterested in small objects and skeptical of space probes, dismisses the idea of modifying a Mars probe to investigate the unusual object Rama. Despite his opposition, the Council votes to proceed. 3 months later, the probe SETA is launched from Phobos and captures detailed images of Rama, revealing it to be a geometrically perfect hollow cylinder, clearly an artificial object. This discovery halts all human activities as the world watches, marking mankind's first encounter with a visitor from the stars. Commander Norton hovers above the North Pole of the massive cylindrical spaceship Rama, reflecting on its overwhelming size and the potential dangers. Despite extensive preparations and reassurances that Rama isn't made of antimatter, Norton feels a sense of insignificance and unease as Endeavour approaches the alien structure. The ship maneuvers carefully, avoiding the potential airlock at the center, and finally lands between 2 low structures to prevent sliding due to Rama's spin. Norton recalls the urgent mission that brought them here. Originally on a routine task, Endeavour was redirected to intercept Rama, an unprecedented opportunity that required taking resources from other ships. With limited time and the eyes of countless scientists on them, Norton feels the weight of responsibility. As they match Rama's orbit, the crew prepares for weeks of intense exploration before Endeavour must break away to avoid the sun's perilous proximity. Norton, aware of the mission's risks, understands the gravity of their task. Earth will find a way to refuel them, but the uncertainties and potential sacrifices are clear. The success of this mission could alter human history, and Endeavour's crew might be expendable to secure the unknown secrets within Rama. In the silent, tomb-like environment of Rama, Commander Norton and his crew await orders to explore the mysterious structure. With no detectable signals or vibrations, the eerie stillness prompts Norton to take initiative. On the first EVA, Norton, accompanied by Lieutenant Commander Carl Mercer, investigates a nearby panel, discovering a peculiar, recessed wheel embedded in the wall. After successfully turning the wheel, Norton and Mercer watch as a segment of the panel wall opens, releasing dust particles into the sunlight. With the path to Rama now open, the exploration begins. Dr. Bose often reflects on the mistake of placing the United Planets headquarters on the moon, as Earth inevitably dominates the proceedings. Born on Earth, he emigrated to Mars at 30 and at 115 can't return due to Earth's gravity. He finds the political meetings repetitive, longing for unexpected actions from his colleagues, all of whom he has known for decades. The Rama Committee, consisting of 6 members and various specialists, including Dr. Thelma Price and Professor Davidson, is tasked with advising Commander Norton on the situation involving Rama. The committee members discuss Commander Norton's background, highlighting his competence and experience. Born in 2077, Norton has dual citizenship and an impressive career in space exploration. Concerns are raised about how he will handle the novel situation with Rama, comparing it to historical encounters between different cultures. Sir Lewis Sands suggests Norton will be like an archaeologist discovering an extinct culture, but worries of potential dangers, such as traps or hostile inhabitants. As the debate unfolds, Sir Robert Mackay brings up the possibility of malevolent beings inside Rama and the challenges of an encounter between cultures. Despite the hypotheticals, the committee concludes that Commander Norton will inevitably proceed with exploring Rama, as curiosity and the quest for knowledge drive humanity forward. Commander Norton, managing his videograms to both his wives on Mars and Earth, adds personal messages before sending nearly identical recordings. His wives, though on excellent terms, have never met due to their physical limitations on different planets. Norton recounts his recent mission update, describing a complex series of airlocks within the spaceship Rama, which took his crew 2 days to navigate. They discovered a long, dark corridor possibly designed for a shuttle system. With each lock successfully cycled, they approached the interior of Rama, comparing their anticipation to an archaeologist discovering a treasure-filled tomb. As he prepares to send his messages, he reflects on the nature of their mission, aware it might be his last communication to his family. Norton feels a connection to the late Egyptologist Howard Carter as he prepares to explore an alien structure potentially older than humanity. His team remains silent, understanding the historic significance of the moment. Norton, using a flashlight, enters a dark, vast space beyond their initial calculations. He experiences a deep sense of vertigo despite being a seasoned explorer. Upon reaching a stop, he observes artificial terraces and ramps resembling an abandoned mine, and feels a sense of anticlimax. He throws a flare, revealing a colossal hollow cylinder 10 kilometers wide, filled with geometric details and landscapes. This revelation overwhelms him, marking him as the first human to witness an alien civilization's work. Commander Norton reports on the exploration of Rama, detailing its structure and features. The cylinder is 50 kilometers long and 16 kilometers wide, with bowl-shaped ends named the northern and southern hemispheres. 3 long ladders lead from the central hub to terraces, followed by steep stairways named Alpha, Beta, and Gamma. The southern hemisphere is notably different, featuring a central spike and 6 smaller spikes. The central plain, a 50-kilometer-long section between the bowls, includes a dark band called the Cylindrical Sea and a large island dubbed New York, which seems like a massive factory rather than a city. Several smaller towns named after Earth cities are connected by highways and a rail system. The Rama Committee on Earth examines these findings, pondering Rama's origins and purpose. Dr. Pereira suggests that Rama is a space ark, an interstellar vessel possibly traveling for over 200,000 years. He theorizes that the vessel's closed ecology would degrade over time, implying Rama is now a derelict. Despite its precise trajectory towards the solar system, indicating guidance, no life forms have been detected inside Rama. This reinforces the idea that Rama is lifeless, yet its existence confirms that humanity is not alone in the universe, changing our perception of the stars forever. Commander Norton decides his second officer, Lieutenant Commander Mercer, is the best candidate for a risky mission due to his expertise in life support systems and ability to maintain biofeedback control. Mercer is joined by Lieutenant Joe Calvert, his close companion and navigation officer, and Technical Sergeant Willard Myron, a mechanical genius on sabbatical. The team of three, considered optimal for safety, prepares to explore the mysterious structure known as Rama. As they float through the airlock and into the weightless environment, Calvert experiences a cinematic flashback, imagining a war scenario as they proceed cautiously along guide ropes. Mercer leads the team along one of the ladders, experiencing increasing gravity as they ascend. They proceed cautiously, aware of the Coriolis force caused by Rama's spin, and switch to a feet-first orientation to manage the sensation of weight. Reaching a platform, they encounter a stairway designed more for ascent than descent. The team decides to slide along the handrail to descend efficiently, managing the friction to control their speed. At the next platform, Mercer tests the breathable air and reports the conditions to Norton. Satisfied by the progress, they prepare to return to the hub. The climb back up proves uneventful, but physically demanding. The team takes measured pauses to avoid exhaustion and maintains focus to prevent carelessness. Upon reaching the top, they reunite with Norton and the backup team, completing their initial exploration in under an hour. Although they have only covered a fraction of the enormous stairway, the experience provides valuable insights for further exploration of Rama. Commander Norton finds the presence of women aboard his ship distracting due to the effects of weightlessness on their bodies, which he believes has even caused a space accident. He shares this theory with Surgeon Commander Laura Ernst, with whom he once had a romantic encounter. Laura updates Norton on the health of their mountaineers, noting some are exhausted and cheating on exercise, and stresses the importance of physical fitness for their mission on the alien spacecraft Rama. They plan the descent with safety measures and agree on a rigorous exercise routine for the crew to prepare. Norton prepares for the mission while dealing with the logistics and crew concerns. He insists on leading the exploration despite suggestions that someone more expendable should go. He faces the complexities of maintaining discipline and morale, balancing his authority with personal connections. On board, the presence of genetically modified super chimps or simps aids in routine tasks, freeing the crew for more critical work. However, their inability to handle emergencies poses a challenge, necessitating a contingency plan for their euthanasia if a disaster occurs. Norton, relieved of this duty, reflects on the emotional weight of such responsibilities. In the cold, dark atmosphere of Rama, a trio of explorers moves down a colossal stairway, illuminated by a searchlight. They descend methodically, shedding their oxygen gear as they reach breathable air and continue their journey comfortably. By the fifth level, gravity increases, making the descent easier but the return daunting. The stairway, once steep, flattens out, and they reach a vast gray plain, contemplating their next steps. Norton, the leader, communicates their status back to the ship, noting the eerie silence and vastness of their surroundings, while considering exploration of a nearby structure they named Paris. While they rest and plan, crew members discuss the implications of their discoveries, speculating about the Ramon's nature. Joe Calvert muses on the likelihood of oxygen-breathing humanoid builders, while Lieutenant Boris Rodrigo, a devout member of the Fifth Church of Christ, remains cautious in his conclusions. Norton contemplates the physical and psychological challenges ahead, particularly the exhausting return up the stairway. Despite these concerns, the decision to proceed towards Paris hinges on the approval of their shipboard doctor, who grants them permission to continue after a short rest. With a mix of excitement and apprehension, they prepare for the next phase of exploration. Joe Calvert attempts to lift spirits by whistling various tunes, but the effort falls flat in the profound silence of Rama. Commander Norton leads them towards the Strait Valley, a mysterious trench speculated to be an irrigation canal. Reaching it, Norton descends, finding the bottom made of a cold, glass-like material, not ice, further deepening the mystery. As he walks along the valley, Norton experiences a powerful déjà vu, recalling a similar place from his youth in England, which helps him regain composure. With this memory easing his mind, Norton realizes the importance of not letting the nature of Rama overwhelm him. He acknowledges the strange familiarity of the place, but decides there is nothing further to discover in the trench. Calling back to his team, he prepares to continue their journey towards Paris, maintaining optimism in the face of Rama's secrets. The ambassador from Mars convenes a meeting of the United Planets Committee, because Dr. Pereira has urgent information to share. Before that, Dr. Thelma Price summarizes Commander Norton's recent exploration of Rama. Norton has traversed almost 30 kilometers, discovering the Strait Valley and reaching a peculiar group of buildings called Paris, which lack windows and doors, resembling storage depots with grooves for a transport system. Norton couldn't access these buildings without heavy tools, leading historian Dennis Solomons to speculate they might be sealed using a mothballing technique to preserve their contents. Dr. Pereira, anxious to share his critical findings, explains that despite Rama's proximity to the sun, its interior remains frozen due to the slow heat transfer through its kilometer-thick hull. This situation is akin to baked Alaska, where the exterior is hot, but the inside stays cold. However, this equilibrium won't last. The interior will soon heat up, causing a rapid temperature rise. Pereira warns that this will lead to violent hurricanes, urging immediate alert and total withdrawal within 12 hours. Inside Rama, 20 men and women, including 6 on the plane and others ferrying equipment, conduct explorations under Norton's strict rules. One exploration team, led by Surgeon Commander Laura Ernst, includes Boris Rodrigo and Sergeant Pieter Rousseau. They travel 15 kilometers to the cylindrical sea, walking through Rama's dark metallic surface illuminated by searchlights. As they approach the sea, they see the plane end abruptly at a 50-meter cliff and observe the strange curvature of the cylindrical lake, unsettling to their senses. At the cliff edge, Ernst's team sees their elongated shadows cast onto the sea's surface, emphasizing the eerie environment. With permission, they descend a narrow, steep stairway discovered by Rodrigo, leading down to the sea, which they confirm is made of ice. Ernst collects water samples, suspecting the liquid to be turbid and algae-infested. Realizing the ice might melt soon, they decide against crossing the sea and start back, intrigued by the enigmatic island in the distance. As they return, Ernst briefly feels a faint breeze, hinting at more mysteries within Rama. Inside Rama, exobiologist Dr. Pereira explains that the rising temperature due to solar heat will cause the cylindrical sea to thaw from the bottom up, creating violent winds as heated air expands and rises. This air, initially moving at Rama's rotational speed, will slow down, resulting in turbulence with wind speeds between 200 and 300 kilometers per hour. Dr. Pereira advises evacuating the area as a precaution. Meanwhile, Commander Norton oversees the establishment of Camp Alpha, a challenging task involving the manual transportation of equipment. Despite the difficulties, Norton reflects on the human impact left in this pristine environment, considering how future visitors might perceive it. As Norton contemplates the message from Earth warning about impending winds, he seeks solitude to record a personal note to his family. Reflecting on the historical explorer Captain James Cook, Norton draws parallels between their expeditions. He receives confirmation of the wind threat, but remains skeptical due to the current calm conditions. He drafts a response seeking clarification and resolves to stay cautious while continuing their exploration. Throughout this, Norton ponders the sacrifices made by explorers and their families, appreciating the relatively close communication he maintains with his loved ones compared to historic figures like Cook. In Rama, the first nights are unsettling due to the silence and darkness, causing strange auditory illusions among the sleepers. Dr. Ernst's background music helps, but one night, Commander Norton finds it insufficient as he listens for a distant wind. Suddenly, an immense noise shatters the silence, waking everyone. Norton learns from hub control that the disturbance is near the sea, where ice is breaking up. The sea, thawing from beneath due to solar heat, causes the ice to collapse and create a turbulent, foaming scene. This phenomenon, signaling the end of winter in Rama, presents new challenges as the team had plans to travel across the ice. As the sea calms, Norton reflects on the failure of their mission and begins the strenuous ascent back to the hub. The climb, although easier in Rama's low gravity, is still taxing. Norton paces himself, recalling a previous struggle with leg cramps. The team rests periodically, donning oxygen masks for the final ascent. Nearing the top, Norton notices a change in light and, without warning, dawn breaks over Rama in a silent explosion of light. Norton opens his eyes to the blinding light of dawn and the awe-inspiring sight of Rama for the first time. The enormity and strangeness of Rama stun him, causing his body to tremble uncontrollably as he clings to the ladder. He closes his eyes, takes deep breaths to calm himself, and ensures his safety by clipping his belt to a rung. After regaining composure, he communicates with his team, confirming everyone's safety, and advises them to keep their eyes closed until they can handle the overwhelming view. Norton then forces himself to open his eyes again, gradually adjusting to the sight of Rama's interior. As he surveys Rama, Norton sees the vast enclosed space illuminated by linear suns and ponders the origins of the sudden illumination. Despite the initial shock, he feels exhilarated by the mysteries of Rama. Imagining himself at the bottom of a colossal well, he tries to mentally map the space. The vision of the cylindrical sea and hanging cities disorients him, but he maintains his focus, determined to lead his crew through this exploration. The rising mist and swirling winds inside Rama indicate the beginning of a storm. The Rama Committee convenes with all members present, including Professor Solomons, who has returned from studying the Pacific, and Dr. Taylor, intrigued by the new developments regarding Rama. Dr. Pereira, usually assertive, is subdued after his prediction of a Raman hurricane is confirmed. The committee discusses the implications of recent discoveries, particularly the breaking up of the cylindrical sea. The ambassador from Mercury voices concerns about Rama's potential threat if it possesses a propulsion system capable of altering its orbit and dominating the solar system. Dr. Pereira speculates on Rama's possible propulsion capabilities, theorizing that if Rama can propel itself, it might possess an interstellar drive, a concept not yet proven by human science. The discussion turns to the unexplored southern region of Rama, hypothesized to contain critical mechanisms. The Hermian ambassador stresses the urgency of investigating this area, prompting the committee to prioritize exploration despite challenges. The meeting concludes with a mix of concern and curiosity as the committee grapples with Rama's unknown potential and the limited time to understand its capabilities before it might affect the solar system. Commander Norton senses something serious when Boris Rodrigo, a typically grave crew member, addresses him formally. Rodrigo requests priority for a direct message to Earth, which is unusual but not unprecedented. He wants to contact the Mother Church about his belief that Rama, a seemingly lifeless yet habitable world, is a cosmic ark meant to save worthy humans, as foretold by his faith. Although Norton is skeptical, he finds Rodrigo's theory intriguingly plausible. To balance protocol and curiosity, Norton permits Rodrigo to send a succinct, scientifically framed message to both the Rama Committee and Rodrigo's church, ensuring that all bases are covered. Norton and his crew return to the Alpha airlock complex on Rama after 2 days of inactivity and find the environment has dramatically changed. The previously harsh blue light is now mellow and gentle. Clouds cover the interior and the air is more humid and breathable. As they descend into Rama, they notice the oxygen levels have increased significantly, allowing them to remove their masks. They enter a cloud layer and hear the sound of a waterfall, a phenomenon previously unheard in Rama. Emerging from the clouds, they see a sideways curving waterfall, demonstrating the Coriolis effect. They also observe that the cylindrical sea has turned green, suggesting rapid biological activity. When they return to camp, they find their equipment scattered, initially thinking an intruder was responsible. They soon realize the culprit is wind, which had untied their ropes during a storm. After a few days of retrieving their gear, they notice that the silence of Rama has returned. They launch a small raft named Resolution, built from storage drums and a metal frame, to cross the cylindrical sea and explore the enigmatic towers of New York. Commander Norton, along with his crew, sets out on the raft, reaching impressive speeds with the motor and paddles. They marvel at the sea's strange beauty and the microscopic life within it, noting its differences from Earth's plankton. As they approach New York, they observe triplicated structures and plan their exploration. Norton steps ashore first, finds everything quiet, and signals his team to join him, ready to uncover the mysteries of the city. Norton explores the enigmatic island, realizing it's a machine rather than a city, as there are no signs of typical accommodations or transport systems. The island resembles a vast chemical processing plant with no visible raw materials or products. Mercer suggests the sea as a possible source of raw materials, which Norton considers plausible, but suspects it may be too simplistic. Ravi McAndrews humorously theorizes that the factory might produce Ramans, which Norton finds intriguingly plausible. The silent, labyrinthine city, devoid of any mechanical sounds, seems dormant but perfectly preserved. Norton and his team hypothesize about hidden transport systems and aircraft, but hesitate to use force to uncover secrets, fearing the unknown defenses of the Ramans. Norton resolves to return empty-handed, maintaining a respectful approach to the mysterious world. Lieutenant James Pack, a junior officer on his fourth deep space mission, faces a risky decision that could make him a hero or ruin his career. Ambitious and eager for promotion, he proposes an audacious plan to reach the southern continent of their destination by using a custom-built aerobatic flyer called Dragonfly, which he secretly brought aboard. Despite his nerves, he convinces Commander Norton of the plan's potential, explaining how the flyer, designed for lunar gravity, would perform even better in zero gravity. Pack admits to smuggling the flyer aboard under recreational stores, and Norton, impressed by the ingenuity, weighs the idea's merit against the risk of disciplinary action. Jimmy Pack prepares to fly the Dragonfly, a delicate soap bubble-like aircraft with nearly invisible wings. Sitting at the center of gravity, he operates the single-stick control while a piece of weighted ribbon shows wind direction. Norton, concerned about the risks, watches as Jimmy starts the engine and the Dragonfly lifts off, moving along the axis of Rama. Despite the danger of breaking a sacrosanct rule of space exploration by venturing alone, Jimmy is determined to explore the far side of Rama. He carefully descends, testing the controls, and finds the Dragonfly handles better at lower altitudes. As Jimmy maneuvers the Dragonfly in the denser air, he performs a series of tests and practices landing near his colleagues. After a successful flight, he dismounts and catches the approaching craft, impressing his team. Dr. Laura Ernst checks Jimmy's vitals, ensuring he is fit for the mission. Confident and eager, Jimmy prepares for the main flight, knowing the stakes, but ready to take the necessary risks for the unique opportunity to explore Rama. Jimmy's adventure takes a serious turn as he reaches the coast of the cylindrical sea, where the risk of drowning in its poisonous waters becomes real. Over unfamiliar territory, he contemplates unforeseen dangers, like flying creatures damaging his vehicle. Despite fear, he pushes on, knowing he is the first and only human to explore the southern regions of Rama. As he flies over New York, capturing images, and crosses the sea, he approaches the massive southern dome, characterized by towering spikes and complex buttresses. Upon reaching the central spike, named Big Horn, Jimmy carefully navigates and collects data, aware of the risks. However, as he moves closer to the southern structures, his transmissions become distorted by a strange, low-frequency magnetic field. Following Hub Control's advice, he retreats to avoid potential danger. The eerie sounds and the colossal architecture underscore the mysteries and immense scale of Rama, making Jimmy acutely aware of the powerful controlled forces at play within this alien world. Jimmy navigates the northern end of Rama, feeling a mix of exhaustion and confidence after his uneventful journey so far. He anticipates an easier return, noting he can cut 20 kilometers off by making an emergency landing anywhere in the northern hemisphere if necessary. As he ascends toward the central spike, Bighorn, he suddenly feels a foreboding sensation and physical discomfort, likening it to the phrase, "Someone is walking over your grave." Ignoring it at first, he soon realizes he is in a powerful electric field, causing his hair to stand on end and making him feel oppressed and heavy, like before a thunderstorm on Earth. Panicked, Jimmy contacts Hub Control, reporting the static charge and imminent thunderstorm. Lightning flickers and thunder rumbles from the little horns, causing him to pedal away from the dangerous Big Horn. As he ascends to avoid higher gravity, turbulence grows, straining his skybike, Dragonfly. The sky remains clear, but the storm intensifies with a rushing sound suggesting escaping gas. He realizes it's an electric wind from the ionization around Bighorn. Suddenly, a sheet of flame erupts behind him, splitting into 6 ribbons connecting Bighorn to the Little Horns, and the concussion follows, leaving Jimmy in a perilous situation. Jimmy is flying dragonfly as it starts to collapse. The left wing snaps off, and the right wing twists and entangles in the tail. Despite this, the air screw still works, giving him minimal control. Realizing he can't reach the sea and its poisonous waters, he decides to land. In a tenth of a gravity zone, he's falling slowly, hoping Dragonfly's remaining thrust can act as a parachute. His friends, unable to help, watch as Jimmy spirals downwards, marveling at the lightning display. As he nears the ground, Jimmy prepares for landing, studying the terrain below. With 100 meters left, he gives a final burst of power. The right wing tears off, and Dragonfly rolls over. He hits the ground, feeling it unfair that the sky should be so hard. Jimmy awakens with a severe headache and various aches, grateful to be alive. As he tries to regain his bearings, he sees a large crab-like creature dismantling his skybike, Dragonfly, but realizes it's more of a demolition than an attack. The creature appears intelligent and methodically gathers the bike's pieces onto its back. Despite the creature's intimidating appearance, Jimmy deduces it might be a robot. He contacts hub control and records the crab's actions. The crab, indifferent to Jimmy, eventually disposes of Dragonfly's remains into a deep pit named Copernicus, leaving Jimmy contemplating his next move. Determined to retrieve his supplies from the crab, Jimmy carefully follows it and successfully reclaims his water and emergency rations. As the crab heads toward the sea, Jimmy's curiosity about its purpose grows. Near Copernicus, he sees vague shapes moving beneath the water and wonders about the pit's depth and connection to the sea. Observing another creature ascending the ramp and a strange, fast-moving apparition, Jimmy feels a mix of determination and wariness, unsure of what lies ahead but committed to understanding the mysteries of his surroundings. Jimmy is trapped on a barren land with no drinkable water, relying on his flask to survive. As he marches toward the sea, he documents the terrain, hoping for posthumous recognition. Encountering varied landscapes, he navigates through squares of quartz crystals, metal columns, and intricate designs. His exploration leads him to a fenced area with a mysterious hole, suggesting an elevator for unknown, possibly dangerous purposes. Along the way, he discovers meticulously prepared fields resembling potential farms, protected by transparent plastic and trellis work. Amidst this alien landscape, Jimmy notices a vibrant flower. Determined to possess this last link to life on Earth, he crawls through a metal lattice to reach it. After successfully plucking the unique flower, he notices its leaves closing and the stem retreating into the ground, feeling a mix of triumph and regret. Despite the difficulty, he returns with his prize, reflecting on the irony of destroying something beautiful in a world that has condemned him to death. Commander Norton, determined to rescue Jimmy, faces the challenge of climbing a half-kilometer vertical cliff without the necessary equipment. He explores various solutions, including using EVA propulsion units and balloons, but none are viable. When Dr. Carlisle Pereira's unconventional idea arrives, Norton realizes it might work. As Jimmy treks along the sea, half the solar system's experts send suggestions. Norton, seeing the practical possibility in Pereira's idea, decides not to disclose the full details to Jimmy to prevent fear. Instead, he encourages Jimmy to trust the rescue plan. When the rescue craft Resolution arrives, Norton instructs Jimmy to jump from the cliff, relying on the low gravity to ensure his safe descent. Jimmy, using his shirt as a makeshift parachute to maintain his body's vertical position, successfully plunges into the cylindrical sea. After surfacing, he is quickly pulled aboard by the Resolution crew. Moments later, a dazzling display of fireworks from the horns and a mild earthquake shake the Rama environment. As the team marvels at these phenomena, a tidal wave suddenly appears, racing towards them. Norton receives a reassuring report that the slight tremor caused no damage, though it altered the ship's spin rate and attitude. As Norton processes this, he sees a massive wave forming on the horizon, and Sergeant Barnes, displaying calm excitement, navigates their raft, Resolution, toward the wave. The wave's speed and foamy walls present a challenge, but Barnes skillfully maneuvers the raft to safety by anchoring in deep water, tight just as the wave collapses harmlessly over a submerged barrier. After the wave passes, the crew encounters a strange, starfish-like creature with metallic spokes emerging from the water, being dismantled by lobster-like machines. This unsettling sight prompts Norton to order a quick return to shore. Once safely back, he vows to keep others from attempting such dangerous voyages across the cylindrical sea, noting the many unknowns and dangers it harbors. Commander Norton decrees that Camp Alpha must always have 3 people, one always awake, to guard against the potentially dangerous creatures inside Rama. An observer at the hub keeps a constant watch. Despite these precautions, an intruder sneaks into the camp. Norton, Rodrigo, Calvert, and Laura Ernst are watching the news when Laura spots the intruder, a tripod creature with a spherical body and 3 eyes. The creature, which moves with a fast spinning motion, inspects the camp's equipment but ignores the humans, displaying intelligent and methodical curiosity. Norton orders everyone to remain calm and avoid threatening actions. Hundreds of these creatures, resembling 3-legged spiders, soon infest the plane, though they leave the explorers alone. Laura Ernst finally gets a specimen when one falls and breaks its legs. Eager to study it, she dissects the fragile creature aboard Endeavour. However, she finds nothing recognizable inside and is startled when her scalpel meets no resistance, leading to a scream that alarms the entire ship. Despite these encounters, Norton is cautious to avoid any incidents that could spark interplanetary conflict. During a meeting with the Space Advisory Council, the Martian ambassador discusses recent developments related to Rama. Dr. Bose, concerned about the absence of the Hermian ambassador, suspects something significant is afoot. Professor Davidson reports on Rama's unusual electrical discharges and changes in spin, suggesting it might be preparing to enter the solar system permanently. Historian Professor Solomons speculates about Rama's possible reactionless propulsion system. Dr. Pereira then presents findings on a spider-like creature from Rama, revealing it to be a biological robot with no need for food or air, raising questions about the nature of Rama's inhabitants and their origins. Commander Norton is abruptly awakened from a dream about his holiday on Mars by his executive officer, Kirchhoff, who has a AAA priority message from headquarters. Norton learns that the message is in code, intended for his eyes only. Realizing the urgency, Norton instructs Kirchhoff to use his key to decode the message. Kirchhoff, acknowledging the sensitivity of the situation, decides to deliver the decoded message personally. He reassures Norton that it isn't extremely urgent, but prefers to avoid using the radio. Norton, now fully alert and unable to sleep, waits anxiously for Kirchhoff's return, contemplating the potential gravity of the situation. Sergeant Pieter Rousseau, who dreamed of telescopes and exploration since childhood, now fulfills his fascination on Rama, observing and classifying biots, biological robots performing various tasks. From his vantage point, he monitors the activities of these creatures, identifying patterns and understanding their roles. The biots, ranging from mobile sensors to scavenger crabs, maintain Rama with remarkable efficiency. Rousseau's role also involves ensuring the safety of exploring parties, making him intimately familiar with Rama's landscape, much like the Colorado mountains of his youth. One night, an unexpected delivery mission disrupts Rousseau's routine. Lieutenant Commander Kirchhoff tasks him with sending a can of concentrated orange juice to Commander Norton. Rousseau expertly sends the can rolling down Rama's curved surface to Camp Alpha, successfully completing the task. Meanwhile, Norton receives a troubling message about a high-speed vehicle, possibly a missile, heading toward Rama. This news, suggesting a potential evacuation, leaves Norton contemplative about the challenges and uncertainties they face inside Rama. As a missile from Mercury approaches, visible from 5 million kilometers away, Commander Norton reluctantly orders the second evacuation of Rama, though he refuses to leave until absolutely necessary. The missile, now 50 kilometers from Rama, surveys it with cameras and antennas. Despite Mercury's silence, the solar system is anxious about its next move. The Hermians, toughened by Mercury's harsh conditions, remain a mystery to those from other planets. Norton, who once admired Mercury's resilience, listens to Admiral Hendrix's briefing. The missile likely carries a fusion bomb capable of destroying Rama. Hendrix advises Norton on safety measures and promises further instructions after the General Assembly's session. The United Planets, comprising 7 members including Earth, Luna, Mars, and Titan, face a significant challenge with the arrival of Rama, a giant spaceship detected over a year ago beyond Jupiter. Initially thought to be a dead natural body, Rama reveals its true nature as a highly advanced artificial object with non-biological entities, suggesting it was sent by an advanced civilization. As Rama approaches the sun, concerns grow about its potential impact on the solar system, prompting the Hermian ambassador to address the United Planets, advocating for a proactive approach. Mercury has dispatched a high-energy nuclear device to Rama, invoking a clause from the Space Treaty of 2057 to protect the solar system's integrity. This unilateral decision aims to prepare for any potential threats Rama might pose, emphasizing the seriousness of the situation. The ambassador acknowledges the dilemma of destroying such a remarkable artifact, but stresses the necessity of safeguarding humanity. The decision on Rama's fate must be made before it reaches perihelion, with preparations in place for the solar survey vessel Endeavour to evacuate if needed. Commander Norton faces a moral dilemma aboard Endeavour. Lieutenant Rodrigo proposes a plan to disable a bomb planted by the Hermians using wire cutters. Norton, grappling with the immense responsibility of his decision. Consulting no one due to the risk of intercepted communications, he feels the weight of his choice, likening it to a historically significant decision. Ultimately, Norton decides that human conscience and ethical responsibility must guide his actions. He calls for Rodrigo, prepared to disable the bomb and thwart the Hermians, accepting the consequences of his decision. Rodrigo embarks on the mission alone, piloting a stripped-down space scooter from Endeavour to the bomb's position in space. With the scooter accelerated to over a third of a gravity, he reaches the bomb quickly, ensuring that his actions remain unseen by the bomb's cameras to conserve fuel. The scooter, streamlined for the task, enables Rodrigo to approach the bomb undetected. He disarms the bomb by cutting its control cables, despite the tension of the bomb beginning to move under remote control from Mercury. As the bomb reorients, Rodrigo faces the challenge head-on, securing himself to the missile and methodically disabling its primary and backup cables, rendering it inert. He contends with the Hermians' likely response time, confident that he is ahead of any command from Mercury. Rodrigo ensures that the bomb cannot be detonated remotely, working swiftly under the assumption that the trigger command is imminent. After disabling the bomb's control and antenna systems, Rodrigo uses the scooter to push the bomb off course, ensuring it will miss its intended target. This calculated move demonstrates his resolve and precision, despite the stakes and potential risks. With the bomb now inert and adrift, Rodrigo secures his place in history, mindful of the implications of his actions and attention they will earn in the future. Norton reflects on the mission's challenges and the uncertainty of their reception on Earth. As the ship returns to the polar axis, they pick up Boris, who seems unfazed. Norton doubts they will visit Mercury again and wonders if the Ramans will appreciate their efforts. With only 2 days left near Rama, the ship faces dangerous heat from the sun. Norton plans one final cautious trip into Rama. With fuel nearly depleted, their return to Earth is uncertain, possibly requiring a stop on Mars. Norton hopes to be home by Christmas and muses on his family's reaction to his heroic status, knowing life will never be the same after Rama. Carl Mercer asks Skipper Norton if the biots will stop them from cutting into the buildings, leading to a discussion about their cautious approach and the potential for discovery. As they begin their attempt, Joe Calvert feels like he's in a heist, worrying about potential alarms from the biots. Willard Myron uses a laser torch to cut through a structure, revealing a series of mysterious glass pillars inside. These pillars contain holographic images of various objects, which Mercer and Norton theorize might be catalogs for biot synthesis. While exploring, they find a sophisticated harness-like structure, seemingly made for a creature with 3 arms and legs, possibly a Raman. The discovery prompts speculation about the creature's intelligence and its possible relationship to the biots. The team is captivated by the display, but their focus shifts when Russo urgently alerts them that the lights in Rama are going out, signaling a potentially critical situation. Norton emerges from a hole in Rama and notices that the 6 suns still shine brightly. However, Russo informs him that the light level has dropped by 40%, indicating the end of Rama's long day. Norton decides to leave immediately, leaving all equipment behind. They head towards the stairway, and as they approach, they feel tremors and observe Rama beginning to turn. Norton instructs the crew to prepare for a quick departure, feeling an urgent need to escape as the light fades quickly. As they climb, they notice unusual phenomena like descending whistles and flashing lights, signaling the biots to return to the sea. Norton feels a compelling urge to follow, but fights it, focusing on the climb. Upon reaching the top, the crew finds the interior of Rama dark, with only the light of their flashlights guiding them. Norton reflects on their vulnerability during the climb, fearing that Rama's acceleration could sweep them off into space. They finally reach the hub and are pulled through the airlocks, exhausted but safe. Norton bids farewell to Rama's cities and contemplates the strange occurrence of night falling as Rama approaches the sun, feeling a mix of relief and awe at their narrow escape. Commander Norton decides that 100 kilometers is a safe distance from the enormous black cylinder of Rama, now eclipsing the sun. Using Rama's shadow to cool the ship, Endeavour's crew conducts maintenance while the mysterious object continues to turn. The United Planets are in a frenzy, but Norton and his exhausted crew, having rested after departing the North Pole base, return to normalcy. However, they are jolted awake when Rama stops turning. Norton heads to the bridge, where they observe Rama foreshortened into a stubby cylinder with the sun peeking over its edge. As Endeavour repositions into the Umbra, the crew notices an unexplained roll of the ship, unrecorded by instruments but visible through the portholes. Norton realizes they are under a powerful gravitational influence from Rama, which begins accelerating away. Endeavour, caught briefly in Rama's wake, returns to normal as Rama moves further away. Despite using their last reserves of propellant to adjust their orbit safely, they find Rama's behavior puzzling. Instead of slowing to be captured by the sun's gravity, Rama accelerates towards the sun, defying all predictions and calculations. As Rama's new orbit becomes clear, it seems destined for disaster, approaching the sun so closely that its hull should melt. The Endeavour has safely passed its perihelion, while Rama swiftly moves closer to the sun, eventually disappearing into a reflective sphere. Observers realize Rama is encased in a protective bubble, transforming into an elongated ellipsoid. This bubble interacts with the sun's magnetic field, creating a glowing tunnel through which Rama accelerates, using the sun's energy to speed up. As it moves faster than any known object, it appears to draw matter from the sun before veering out of the solar system towards the Greater Magellanic Cloud, showing no interest in the planets it disturbed. Commander Norton lies in his cabin, lost in thought, when Surgeon Commander Laura Ernst interrupts with news. His permit from Port Lowell is being acted upon, and his new son is likely being conceived at that very moment. Norton reflects on the long journey and hopes to be home for the birth. As they discuss the end of their mission and the enigmatic nature of the Ramans, Norton feels a deep sense of loss. He has succeeded in his mission beyond expectations. Yet the mystery of the Ramans remains unsolved, leaving him with a haunting sense of missed opportunities. This marks the end of today's story. This story was based on the novel Rendezvous with Rama, written by the late Arthur C. Clarke. If you would like a deeper dive into this world, consider reading the novel. A link is in the description below. If you like this story, please help us out with a like and subscribe. If you want to help our channel further, consider purchasing our app, Count Currency, on the App Store for iPhone. Speech was created with OpenAI. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.